Hi y'all, my name is Jenna Kosu. I teach 7th grade pre-algebra at Carroll Middle School, and this is my classroom. Alright, to start, you'll notice throughout this video that I like to label everything and stay very organized. So I label my covers just to make it really easy to find things whenever I need them real quickly. I also coach, so I like to post all my team pictures. In this bookcase right here, I usually use this to hold our textbooks. Our textbooks are consumable, so we tear them out as we go. I labeled the shelves with the class periods so that the kids know where to find their textbooks, and I also number the textbooks so each kid has their own book. I have a couple of bins with some 3D shapes, some journals and folders if kids need an extra. I use the folders and dividers for the kids to cover their work as they take quizzes and tests. And I would always recommend a lost and found bin. I have some baskets up at the top. The stuff that's in there is usually stuff that I don't need on a daily basis, so it's easy to have up there. To the left. To the left of the bookcase is where I have all my calculators and some rulers. You'll notice that the calculators are also numbered, and those numbers coincide with the textbook numbers so the kids know which calculator to use and which textbook to use. I have a board with all of our athletic schedules for all the sports. Over here is where I have the kids put their cell phones. You can kind of notice that each pocket is numbered, and so when the kids come in, they put their cell phone in their pocket, and that number also coincides with their textbook and their calculator number. This poster right here, I always find kids just sitting and looking at it. It's for those kids that are always like, when are we going to use this? It has a bunch of math concepts and different careers, and it shows you when you'll use all those math concepts, so the kids really enjoy that. The next section we have is where all my kids turn in any work. I use the bins for them to turn in their on-time work. Each class period has a bin, and each folder is numbered. All of those numbers coincide with the kids' calculator, their cell phone, pocket, and their textbook. When I have kids turn in their homework, I have them fold it hot dog style, and they turn it in standing up like that, so that when I go and grade it, I can quickly pull it out, look at it, give them a grade, and then I lay the assignment down in the folder, and that's how they know that it's been graded and it's okay for them to take it out of there. I have instructions on how to turn in that work in case any kids forget. They usually use this at the beginning of the year, and then once they got it, they're good. I have instructions for late work. So if a kid is turning in something late, they will use one of these little forms, fill it out, and they attach it to their late work. If a student is absent, I have instructions for them as well. And they also have a little form to fill out, and they attach it to their absent work. The absent and late work does not go into these bins. These bins are only for on-time work. So I have over here in the corner a zebra folder for each class period, and it's labeled with if they're turning in late work or if it's absent work. And all those colors coincide with their on-time turn-in work bin. And at the bottom I have a yellow folder, and that's where my kids turn in any test or quiz corrections that they have. So that is my turn-in section. Next, I have a little area where I like to have the kids decorate a college pendant, and they do this with their favorite college. I think it's never too early to get them thinking about college. I have a great view from my room. In this corner is where I put all the kids' birthdays. So I made those just using picture frames and paper, and then I can write on them with Expo marker so that I can erase every year and put my new group of kids' birthdays on there. The next section I have is my TCU board, of course, and in the baskets at the top is usually where the kids pick up their notes or homework assignments for that day. On my Promethean board, I usually have a step-by-step instructions on what the kids need to do, and I usually put a timer on the board telling them when I need all of that done by, and so this is where they always pick up that work. I've labeled all of these bins, and this is an area that the kids can come and get stuff if they need it. I have my monthly calendar, and underneath that I put all of my seating charts. And so on my seating charts I like to make notes if I have any 504 kids or SPED kids and they have accommodations. I like to add it right there as well. Next to that on my podium I have a binder full of stuff that's basically just for me. So we have to take a paper attendance every day during second period, so I usually print off a ton of second period rosters and put them in that section. And then I have a section for my absent kids, so this is where I just write their names down on here. It's easier for me to keep track of it if it's right here by my desk instead of looking it up on the computer. I usually put another copy of my seating chart in this section. And then the last section, I like to have all my lesson plans just so that I know what's going on for the whole week, and it's right by my desk. Next to the podium and the calendar is my desk and my Promethean board. So I normally use my document camera. It seems to be the easiest to use when we're taking notes in math, and then it's projected up on the Promethean board, so it's usually pretty easy for the kids to see. I used fabric to cover my desk because I didn't want to look at all the cords that are hanging off my computer and the document camera. Next to the Promethean board on my desk, I have another bookcase, and again, everything's labeled and has a place. This is another area that the kids can come and get anything that they need out of this. This is kind of their section. Of course, I have some Carol Dragon and TCU things. Here are the rules for my classroom. Next to the bookcase, I have my desk in my little area. I like to add as many pictures in my room as possible, and I like to keep old notes from students. Right next to my desk, I have a few bins that I like to use just to keep myself organized. So the top 4 bins are papers that need to be graded. And the bottom 4 bins are papers that are already graded and I can pass back to my students. I have my objective board. Over here on the black trays, this is usually where I put my copies for the entire week. I make copies every Thursday for the following week, and so each tray is for one day and it holds all my copies. I usually keep the binders on my desk that I'm using at that time, so whatever sport I'm in, whatever unit we're in pre-algebra, and I always keep the quizzes and reviews and tests always at my desk because we use those pretty frequently. This is something that I found on Pinterest and decided to make. It was pretty easy, and it keeps me organized, and everything again is very easy to find. If by chance I get ahead and I'm making copies 2 weeks out, I use these folders to put that second week of copies in so that I have those and I have my copies for the following week. I like to stay nice and organized, so as you can see, my desk is very clutter-free, which I love. The next section we have is our agenda for the week, and I made this using duct tape and scrapbook letter stickers. So in one column I have what we're doing every day of that week, and then I have all their homework assignments. Under the dates column, I like to put all the quiz and test dates for the whole grading period. That way they know way in advance when they're going to be quizzed and tested. Over here I have all of our missing work. I keep a running tally per class period on the amount of missing assignments I have, and whichever class period at the end of the grading period has the least amount of missing assignments, I bring them a little treat. Above all that, I have some addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division keywords, and more pictures, of course. In this last section, this has a lot of CMS specific materials like our schedule and our map and our core values. I also keep a binder for tutorial sign-in. Just kind of helps me keep track of who's here, and I can let the parents know if their children come in. For math, we have a showing my worksheet. It helps to keep the kids organized and easy for me to read their work. This clipboard usually has our tardy sign-in sheet, and I have made this for all my substitute teachers. So it has a table of contents, a little note, I have a copy of our school map, I put copies of my seating charts in here, all my classroom procedures, classroom rules and consequences. We have a Dragon Den, which is a study hall or reading time, and so I describe all of that. Here's a section for ISS and lunch detention, because at one point I did have lunch detention duty. Here's more information about athletics for my sub and any detention slips and office referrals that hopefully they never have to use, and a little place for them to leave me some notes. I found that on Pinterest as well. It was pretty easy to make. That's just a towel ring holder. One thing I would recommend everybody to do would be to have a binder for every unit, or maybe 2 units. Make sure you label the front of the binder, label the side of the binder, and then on the inside, I would always make sure to have a sheet or a divider to divide every section. And one thing that I've always done is I always put a key and a blank copy of the assignment all in one of these clear sleeves, and that way I always have a key with a blank copy for all my notes, all my quizzes, and it makes it very easy to use from year to year. If I need to make adjustments, I leave a note on for myself on the key so that I know for the next year.